boys. Drum roll, please. We are going live with hockey action. We're going to bring the goal song. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1. We're live.
Welcome back, you degenerates, to the #1 gambling podcast on earth. I am Billy, here with Morgan and Greg. This is Betting the Diagonal, and I've righted the ship, boys. Had a wonderful day. I'm happy. Greg still sucks at NBA. Sorry, Greg.
I'm no longer 10%. We're a little better. We're
almost to 30%.
We're almost to 30%. Try to get to 50 by the end of the week. That's the goal.
Yep. Hey, man, we all gotta start somewhere, you know. Last week you couldn't tweet. This week you learned how to tweet. I'm teaching everybody new things.
I started 0-9 on the season, and now I'm 46-31. You know, just follow my lead, and
I'm not gonna do that. But what that goes to show is, greatness takes time.
Possible. Where's Kevin Garnett at?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if Kevin Garnett was playing, he'd cover more spreads, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
We're excited. Last second, we realized that hockey's back. Well, we knew it was back, but we realized we could talk about it. So we were going to talk strictly basketball for Basketball Tuesday. We're going to have to throw in hockey every week. We might have to record a third day. We don't know. We'll got to figure stuff out around here. But what do you guys like for hockey this year? Do you want to go into futures? Do you want to go into what do you guys want to talk about first?
We got hockey action, yo. Let's talk first about my team, the Flyers. Best team in hockey.
This is where the podcast ends.
Mm-hmm. This is why we're not going to do the third day.
Yeah.
Let's talk the season. I'm excited for this season. I'm really looking forward to it. It's been a long time, I feel like, since hockey, even though it's only been maybe like 2 months or so. I feel like we've gone forever without hockey. I shouldn't have to go through a Christmas or anything without that. Side note, Flyers and Bruins are playing in Lake Tahoe this year, which is going to be fucking awesome to watch. But I am stoked for this season. I can't wait. My team did a great job of getting the young guys ready, getting healthy, get moving on. I don't know. What about your guys' team? I see that nonsense that you're wearing on your heads and your shirts and everything. I'll give you guys the floor for a second, since there's 2 of you and only 1 of me, and talk about your team.
Well, we can dive into the past if you want. Not too distant past, where our Islanders knocked you guys, the sorry, degenerative, really a trash organization in the Flyers right out of the playoffs. The team that was
beautiful.
The hottest team in hockey, can't lose. Oh my God, this and that. You guys get your asses whooped night in and night out. That game that went to 7, right? It went to 6 or 7.
It go 7. I'm pretty sure we lost 5-0 game 7.
Yeah. I mean, you guys lost every one of those games. And as a Flyer fan, you should be able to agree.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, I think that my young team got great, invaluable experience in the Stanley Cup playoffs, and they're ready to take the next step. Hammer the Flyers this year. Futures bet to win the Cup. Plus 1,200.
That's not even a good number, bro.
No.
That's not even a valuable number.
No. It's not like
the Islanders are.
Plus 6. Plus, what is it? Plus
17. Plus 17. I believe so.
Lock me into that.
Give me one second.
The defending Eastern Conference.
I actually have the odds for the Islanders right now at plus 2,500.
That's what I thought. Plus 2,500. Lock me into that. I don't bet on my Islanders. You won't see me do it all year. If it's like, unless it's absurd, like the 4th-string goalie's playing the Islanders or something, then it's okay. But I don't bet on the Islanders. My one true love of a team that I follow. I don't put any bad juju on them. I've been to hundreds of games. No, thank you. But I will place a bet on Barry Trotz to be the next president in the United States of America. Lock it in.
Barry Trotz, 2024, baby.
Yes, sir. After he leads us to the next dynasty, you can lock him in as president. because they'll be done with
That took a hard
stepping
left
stones.
turn that I was not expecting.
That's what you get here.
I don't know what to say after that one. I have never once been speechless on this show, but I truly have nothing.
He can rebuild teams like nobody's business.
Mm-hmm.
That's enough for me.
Yeah, and
he brought us from not be able to make playoffs, not be able to win games, not be able to play any defense, to make it to Eastern Conference Championship. What else can you say? In all seriousness,
by the Lightning,
I love him for Coach of the Year again this year. Love him, love him.
And he's the favorite.
He is the favorite. Plus money, don't matter. Love it, love it, love it.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah, we were talking about that off air before the show starts. All the coaches, they're riding on trots. I mean, take the homer side. I love Alain Vigneault this year as Coach of the Year. My pick, I told the guys, was going to be Jared Bednar, the coach of the Colorado Avalanche. I think they might come out of the West this year. Right now, they are actually Stanley Cup favorites to win it all.
Yes,
they are.
That team is just ridiculous with the offensive firepower they have with Mikko Rantanen, with Gabriel Landeskog, Nathan McKinnon. Like it's up and down. They roll 3 lines that have 30-goal scorers on them. Then they bring out the young guys in the back end, Cal McCarr, Bowen Byram, who might crack the lineup this year. He might be the top defense prospect in the league. It's unbelievable what they've gone from where they just sucked to get themselves McKinnon, and all of a sudden they are just loaded. They make great moves. I mean,
yeah,
Jared Bednar. I think he's only plus 700 or so to win it, but he's a great bet this year.
Yeah, that's not a bad bet at all. I love that team. If they didn't have to go through the teams that were so hot last year, like Dallas, and like Dallas wasn't losing to anybody. Like they were beating on teams. Like I remember when we were doing the fantasy draft, Greg, they were winning 7. It was 7-1.
Oh, it was a beatdown. Oh, we were watching that during the draft.
In the second. I was like, I bet on that game. I'm like, oh, this is easy. Hockey betting is easy. But it's not. Of course, it's not because there's so much puck luck involved in hockey. That's why I don't bet too much hockey. Not like, of course, like the college basketball degenerate I am, but like I'll bet on it. I love the action. Gotta have it. Need it. I just asked before. Pro wrestling's something I can bet on because it's live right now, but it's not apparently. And I'll take what I can get. But I do love that bet. If the number was better for the Avalanche, I'd love that bet, but plus 250 or 350 on depending on the book you have, terrible number.
Yeah, especially when you make the playoffs and you got a chance.
Yeah.
Since we're kind of talking about who we think is going to win it, who do you guys think? What are you guys picks? Give a couple teams. Who do you think is going to win it this year? Don't say the Islanders.
I mean, Billy, are we on the same page here? I think we are.
We are. There's no debate. There's no debate.
I don't have another choice.
I should have known where I was going with this question. Like I'm 0 for 2 so far in this show. I'm having a rough night.
The answer for everything is gonna be let's go Islanders. It's like how Buffalo Bills fans, like Greg can confirm his brother went to school up in Buffalo. Buffalo Bills fans, they don't say hello and goodbye. They say go Bills. I'm the same way with my New York Islanders. It's let's go Isles. It's all day, all night.
I mean, you're just talking about what we do in Philly. I mean, our entire conversation is go Birds. That's all we do to each other all day.
The difference is,
and then we throw something at each other, and then we're getting to fight the subway.
Yeah, I mean, you guys say that because you don't have a large vocabulary. That's really what it comes down to.
We don't need one. We're working class people down here.
No, I'm
going to cut you off before it goes too far because this is going to get out of control fast with you two Islanders.
No, I'm just about to say who I like.
I'm going to throw. I'm stealing the spotlight. My teams that I like this year, aside from the Flyers, I like the Flyers at plus 1,500. I have 5 other teams that I'm kind of looking at this season with longer odds. Hurricanes at plus 2,000. Love the Hurricanes. I think they're a phenomenal team up and coming. Teuvo Teravainen has taken the next step. Elias Lindholm is great down there. Love them. I do have the Islanders on my card of teams that I would be looking at. I do. I like that. As much as I don't want to admit it, I love the plus 2,500 for the Islanders. I think that's very good value in that. Dallas, again, plus 2,000 to get back in the West. I do like that. little bit lesser odds. I think Vegas has a decent shot this year at plus 850. Not great value in that they're going to be a big time favorite. But if you want to go deep, a team that I think is way down there, who's kind of under the radar a little bit right now, Columbus plus 4,000. I have that as a little sleeper pick down there. That they have some nice Yuri Korpisalo in the pipes, can do some nice things. He took that job from Sergei Bobrovsky, who's now living down there in Florida. You got Pierre-Luc Dubois down center in those lines. There's some nice players. Seth Jones. They have a nice little team there in Columbus, and they have an awesome goal cannon that they shoot off every time they score, which is just fire. So that's my long shot one that I'm really looking at.
That's interesting. I don't hate your Dallas Stars pick. Obviously, we talked about the Avalanche. I like them a lot. Mm-hmm. But for the Avalanche, it comes down to the number. I wouldn't bet on them, but I do like them to win. They might be the strongest team. Of course, you always have to add in the Lightning. We'll get into that in a little bit. I don't see the Flyers, man. I don't see the Flyers. They can't score. You got to be able to put pucks in the back of the net, and that's what the problem was with our Islanders last year. Is we didn't have a goal scorer. We still don't have a goal scorer.
Yeah, we don't, and hopefully we trade for one at some point in the season.
Yeah, we said that last year, but we
wanted one, and then we got Eberle, and we traded for Eberle, what, 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
Yeah, and they looked at him as like that prime time goal scorer. He's done his job. He's definitely done his job.
If I remember correctly, you guys gave up Griffin Reinhart for Jordan Eberle.
Yeah,
and I've always been a big Eberle guy. I loved him in Edmonton. He plays no defense. He doesn't do anything else but shoot the puck. But I like that. I like a guy who just shoots the puck. That's why I'm very much intrigued by the possibility of my Flyers picking up Patrick Laine this year. I think he'd be a phenomenal fit on our first or second line. And that will be a nice little sniper addition for us.
Yeah, that would be a good pickup.
No, it would be. He'd be good on any team.
Yeah.
He really would.
Plays no defense, but you know what? I don't need him to play defense. Defense is overrated.
Yeah, Philly says that a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in most sports.
In all sports.
Yeah.
Everything except for Villanova basketball, they say that.
Yeah, exactly. Philly, you got any more picks?
For futures for the cup, I do not. Do you have anything?
Yeah, I mean, clearly, I love the Islanders. A plus 2,500. It's an extremely generous number for a team that has already made it to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. That didn't go as planned, but Tampa took the cup. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
I like Edmonton at plus 2,300. It's a longer shot, but they have the talent around them. Yeah, as long as they continue to score goals, they could keep up with any other team. And a long shot that I have, very long shot, and it's a matter of if they make a move similar to they did in the past, as long as they're still competitive, and that would be the Arizona Coyotes.
The team with the best jerseys in hockey.
They have awesome jerseys, man.
Awesome desert jerseys. Dogs.
Yeah, and the acquisition they made with Taylor Hall, bumped them to one of the better teams in the West when it came down to it. They didn't make the run that, I wouldn't say it was expected, but that they could have made in the playoffs. And, as long as they're competitive going down to the trade deadline, maybe they make a similar move. Maybe they can make a run. Yep. Long shot, though, plus 5,500.
It's not bad. Good number. Throw some money on it, see if it sticks.
Yeah.
As this might become our new catchphrase, but it's only money.
That's all it is. That's
only
all
money.
It is.
Before we get into the games for tomorrow, Greg, you want to do your 30 seconds on Alabama? Or are you?
Wow,
you over it because you didn't actually bet on it.
You're gonna give me
that much time? You didn't actually bet on it. I'm not giving you more than a minute.
Right. So
we do have a mute button to cut you off when we want to, though.
Okay. All right. Well, to everybody that frequents the podcast, I know I'm new. I know I am still getting into the the whole rhythm of things on here, but when I make a pick against these two guys and they're so damn confident about it, and it's an asinine pick, it's amazing that they still have a show.
Wow.
Like we're
Mute this,
we're
Ken.
we're lucky to still be here. We're lucky to still be here. But it's because of guys like me that, ride the Alabama train. You ride Nick Saban in a national championship until Nick Saban is not the coach of Alabama anymore.
That's fair. Did you know that Nick Saban in his last 5 championship games, he's only covered the number once?
Well,
now twice.
Now it's twice.
I'm talking about this year, boys.
I know.
I'm
Listen,
talking about this
I
year.
will tell you what. I went to work on Monday morning, and for those who don't know, I work in the restaurant business, and all my regulars come in, this and that, and I got Sports Center on the TV, and they're like, "Oh, let's go Ohio State, Ohio State, Ohio State." And I'm like, "Oh man, this is a public bet, isn't it? Since when is Alabama not the public favorite?" It was. Oh, I knew I lost. I believe I texted Morgan. I was like, "I don't like this. I really don't like this
We
anymore."
I
kept
don't know
trying to
why
talk
so many
ourselves
people.
into it too.
No, when? Must have
Didn't
been off
work.
the air.
It happens.
No, it
It
was
was
off
a
the air.
shame.
Yeah, it was through
Okay.
text messages.
Oh yeah. We were texting like this is not going to end well for us. We started to get hunched, and then things started to trickle in. Like we got the report. Who put out that one report? Was it not Mortensen? One of the college guys saying a bunch of Ohio State guys were going to be out, and they weren't disclosing who it was yet. And it's just like all these little pieces, nuggets of information are going to start trickling. I was like, oh fuck, we're on the wrong end of this one, aren't we?
I mean,
And then
boys,
it looked good for a little bit.
Devontae Smith beat Ohio State almost by himself.
Yeah, he had 21 points.
All he needed was a half.
What I have to say about Devontae Smith, he's going to look great in midnight green next season.
He's not
great in midnight green.
He's not making it past 3.
I don't think so.
He's not making it past 3.
Past
He's
3?
not making it past 3.
Disagree, but
get him to 6. Float him to 6. Dolphins are going to fall in love with Jamar Chase. Take him at 6. I'm sorry, at 3. Devontae's going to fall right into my lap.
Yeah, they're going to fall in love with a guy who didn't get 12 catches for 215 yards and 3 touchdowns in one half like a couple weeks ago. Yeah. That happened.
He's got the tape. Put up 23 touchdowns the year before. He's got the tape. He's got some Biletnikoff trophies sitting there with him.
Listen. It's enough. College football's over.
Mm-hmm.
They should all
Onward
go
and up.
this offseason.
Greg, your segment's over.
Yep, this offseason, I will say, college football, to all the defensive coordinators, try to teach your players some defense. Do something, because these games go on forever. Because it's either an incomplete pass, penalty, or a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Unless you're like a full-on run team that doesn't score at all, then the game goes on for 6 hours. I can't watch it that long. I have other things to do. But let's get back into NHL, because I just wanted to give him that 30 seconds of fame.
Thank you.
Morgan, why don't you start us off with your Philly play? Because,
Yeah, so I'm flyered up, baby. It's crunch time. Anytime, anywhere.
Hold on. I'm cutting you off real quick. Is that what you guys say? You guys say I'm flyered up?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So we're back tomorrow. I'm excited. The Flyers are on at 5:15 against our arch nemesis, the other team from Pennsylvania, the team that nobody gives a shit about, the city that nobody gives a shit about, Pittsburgh. I'm loving it. There's no bigger rivalry in hockey right now than Flyers Penguins hockey.
What are you smoking?
What world are you living in?
Are you kidding me?
There's so much. There's no chance anyone's a bigger rivalry than that.
Go to a Rangers Islanders game.
I've been in jail at the Coliseum.
Team from New York.
Continue.
Team in your city. We are the state. We are obviously the city. We are the state. So we play tomorrow. Loving it. What is something just flash? Did I get distracted? Line right now. I don't know where. It's tough to bet hockey. Obviously, in the beginning of the year, you don't know what anyone's going to look like or anything. Literally every single game is plus minus 1.5 goals to either side. But what I do really very much like in this game is going to be the Flyers Penguins under 6 goals total. It's going to be a physical game. It's going to be a lot of rust that's being knocked off because it hasn't been a preseason, only been a certain amount of workouts and everything. So I don't think the goal scores are going to be at their finest. It's going to be an ugly game. It's probably going to be like a 2-1, a 3-2 final score, with the Flyers coming out on top. Because we have the young Carey Price, the young Marty Brodeur, caught a hot in net, and he is just a machine down there. You guys want to comment at all on?
No, I don't hate that. I don't hate that. It might actually be 3-1, but I don't hate that. I love Hart. He's great.
Yeah, he's a good goalie.
He very well could become in a year or two. He's a little more experienced, the best goalie in the NHL. He is that good.
That's a stretch.
I mean, of the young goalies there are, who else we got there? Thatcher Demko.
Vasilevsky would have to have a stroke.
Vasilevsky's pretty freaking good. But we've seen goalies fall off the cliff. 2-3 years ago, everybody was saying Braden Holtby was this great goalie and everything for the Capitals. Nobody wanted him this offseason. He had to sign a 1-year deal in Vancouver. He completely fell off the earth. So goalies are hot and cold. You never know what you're going to get. Bobrovsky, when he was in Columbus, was a star. Right now in Florida, he's not as good as he used to be. Back years and years ago, Flyers brought in Ilya Bryzgalov to be between the pipes. He was this up-and-coming hot goalie and everything. And this dude, Cosmonaut, got lost out in the stars and gave up 9 goals a game. You never know what you're going to get with goalies. So once you find one, you just got to hope and pray that happens. Vasilevsky could fall off a cliff for all we know in the year. But Carter Hart, he won't. Definitely won't. He's the truth. He's got
heart. Because he's got heart.
That's it. He has heart. That's all that he needs is heart.
He should have had more heart. Yeah. He needed a little more heart in last year's series against the Islanders.
He got tired.
Well, he's got all this energy. He's a young.
If it wasn't for Carter Hart, we would not have been in the series at all. He literally stood on his head because we forgot how to shoot the fucking puck. I will say this. Your Islanders, I don't know if I've ever seen a team who blocks as many shots as the fucking Islanders.
Treatment, bro.
And it is extremely fucking frustrating to watch. But
they lay the body out for the puck, whatever it takes.
Three other games that I'm interested in with this card tomorrow. I like the Maple Leafs. Maple Leafs minus 1.5. They're against the Canadiens. I definitely like that. I think the Maple Leafs, as dysfunctional as an organization they have a ton of talent. And the Canadiens have talent, but not nearly as much. And Carey Price is getting older. There comes a time where he's going to start to break down eventually. So I'd like the Maple Leafs. Take the 1.5 with that one. We were talking about this one before the show started. If there's a game you want to hammer in the NHL tomorrow, it's Lightning minus 1.5 against the Blackhawks. I mean, the Blackhawks stink. They're in a transition period. They're going full-fledged rebuild. They're trying to get guys out of there. Jonathan Toews is injured. He will not be playing to start the season. Patrick Kane, a lot of miles on those legs. He's still a great player. He's one of the greatest American players we've seen. A lot of miles, a lot of tread. Duncan Keith, Brent Seabrook, guys who were Norris finalists for a long time. A lot of miles on those legs.
Seabrook's out.
Lightning.
So is Soderberg.
All right, there you go. Seabrook's out. Even makes it even better bet for you right there. The Lightning aren't going to be without Nikita Kucherov. He's going to be out till at least May, with I believe was a knee injury, if I'm not mistaken.
Hip. His hips slide.
Same difference. Whatever. They're the same.
His hips slide.
So I love the Lightning. You're coming off of winning the Cup. You're going to want to show out. There might not. This game actually might be. I think this game is in Florida, which means there probably will be some fans in the arena too. So you're going to be raising a banner, bringing in the rings and everything. I love the Lightning minus 1.5. And my last one I'm going to look at tomorrow. This might be a bit of a surprise. Everyone's on the Avalanche, right? As the Cup favorite. They're going to win the Cup. I'm going to go Blues plus 1.5 on the Avalanche tomorrow. The Blues
plus
are
1.5. I don't hate.
A playoff proven team. They are a veteran team. these teams that are NHL favorites always stumble out of the gate. Or I'm sorry, not NHL favorites, but Stanley Cup favorites. They always stumble out of the gate a little bit. And Colorado has a history of stumbling out a little bit, and then they like to make rash coaching decisions in the middle of the year, or they make a trade very early on in the year. Blues right off the jump, I like them at +1.5.
What's
Beautiful.
the line on that +1.5?
The plus
minus
for
225.
-220. Yeah. Okay.
wait,
I don't
minus
hate that.
225 for the +1.5.
Yep.
I don't hate it. Guess that leads into my
You
picks.
can go, Greg. I'm just looking something up.
Yeah, no worries. I am like Morgan, all over Lightning puck line -1.5. You know, it sticks out on the page comparably to every other play. Next play for me, and my last one for tomorrow, Blues Avalanche over 5.5 goals. Two offenses that, puts pucks in the back of the net. And 3 of the 4 games in regular season last year hit the over. And I believe from what I was looking at before, 3 out of the 5 games in the playoff round hit the over as well.
It's a good stat.
So, recency bias, I'm going to take the over, especially at 5.5 when, over the past couple of years, over-unders used to be 5.5, 5.5 all the
they're
time.
6.5.
And now they're 6.5. So if I'm getting these 2 teams that I know can put the puck in the back of the net like no other, especially the Avalanche, I'm banging over 5.5. And if it doesn't hit, I'm not going to be mad about it.
And kind of just to buoy off of that real quick, because what we were talking about earlier with player props, a player prop I would like is McKinnon to at least 2 points in that game tomorrow. I would definitely be interested in that one and seeing what that number comes in at.
Beautiful. I'm trying to add something for that third parlay, and I think Greg just convinced me to do it. So
cool.
I'm all over the Lightning money line. I was debating whether to do the Avalanche money line because I believe it would be a 1-goal game. Regardless, I think it's going to be a 1-goal game. But to be on the safe side, I might go with that over. I like it. And the Philly Pitt under 6. Both those teams stink. They're not going to score. No, but in seriousness, they're usually a rivalry game is low scoring. I like it, and for the same reason, I got some Thursday games I would like to talk about, just because you guys kind of took most of the games for tomorrow. The best rivalry in hockey is Islanders Rangers, and as an Islanders fan, the Islanders have had the Rangers number for the last 5 or 6 years. Last year, it kind of came more towards the mean, and I think that continues. I won't be betting on this game because, like I said, I don't bet on my Islanders. But if I were to make a pick, it would be Rangers money line and the under. But that's neither here nor there because I'm not betting on it. Don't take my advice. I've never bet on my Islanders, and I won't. But what I will be playing is a 3-game parlay. I'll be taking Caps money line over the Sabres, because the Sabres absolutely stink. Shout out to my boys up in Buffalo. Love you, but they stink. The Hurricanes over the Red Wings, because also those boys out in Detroit, they really stink. They might be the worst team in hockey. And the Stars, who are the Stars playing? I just lost it.
The Panthers, and it's postponed.
They're saying it's postponed?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. No, you ruined my parlay like that.
Sorry.
All right, so what I will do...
You're going to find out one way or the other.
What I will do, it is postponed. It says it.
You want to add
I will
to
be
that parlay?
Take the Lightning from Wednesday and parlaying it with the Caps and the Canes on Thursday.
Not bad.
And that is a winning bet. That's what I think. I'm going to write that in before I forget to take it when we get off the air.
Boys,
so
I wanted to take a second out and thank you guys so much for letting me start out with this NHL trophy. It makes all the sense in the world that I have this because the record's just going to show it anyway.
So that was good. That was good. Looks like everybody here has a trophy but Mr. Brett over here.
I mean,
Mr. Bread
listen,
Maker
I don't
himself
need
doesn't even have his own
busy
trophy.
making bread. For those of you who don't know, they're gonna start calling me the baker because I'm giving out free bread. Bread for you, bread for you. I'm gonna be back on a hot streak starting tomorrow. 2 positive days in a row in college basketball. Which is a perfect segment. Love that you guys did this. It's a perfect segment. So next week I can come in here with my trophy after Morgan loses another fucking 10 games and I'm hot again.
Who's got the best record in both NBA and college?
I mean, first off, can we just say Greg has no business holding any trophy of any sort?
That's fair. That is very fair.
This is a hockey trophy.
I mean, that looks like baseball to me, but
At least get a hockey trophy if you're gonna say it's a hockey trophy.
I didn't play hockey growing up, but
So
you'd
go
be
buy
better
a
off
hockey
having a
trophy.
bowling trophy.
boys, have some imagination, right?
You look like Evgeny Malkin getting ready to swing that stick at Michael Raffle.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
We can
Yeah.
call it the Malkin if you want.
We'll call the
Nah.
hockey trophy the Malkin.
That's fair. I can't believe you pulled the trophy out. I'm sorry.
We have gone completely off the rails. I mean, I guess I
Dude,
have to
I've
bring,
had this sitting next to me all night, just waiting.
bring him back.
Greg's got his box of trophies sitting next to him. Since I'm the only mature one in this group, I'll start off talking about some college basketball that'll be happening tomorrow. I won't be going into Thursdays because there's 1,000 games on Thursday. No point in even bothering with it. Just a quick trend that I saw going from last week. In the last 7 days, the away team has covered the spread 57% of the time as of Tuesday morning. We can run the numbers. I'll post it up on Twitter if you guys want. I'll probably just post it up just for the fuck of it. 57% of the time, which is good because usually it's the home team that has been, as of history, covering those spreads. Anywho, my first game on the board is going to be the Virginia Notre Dame under 24.5. I already took the bet. It's now down to 124, and it'll probably go down to 122. Be the lowest I see it going. Last time they played on December 30th, it ended at 123, and Notre Dame played their best game of the year. Notre Dame hasn't beaten a top 25 team in 3 years, and that was the first game of the season where rankings really mean nothing. It was in a tournament. Virginia could be missing 4 players that are still going to be on the COVID list. It's something to watch out. So depth could be a problem. So therefore, a team would be tired, probably slow the ball down. I love it, as if Virginia doesn't slow the ball down enough. They've also been giving up the 7th least amount of points in the country with 59.4. So I'm locking that in. It's a ready bet. It's over. It's going to be a win. It's the under, excuse me, but the bet is over. I already placed it. Lock it in. Next one is Furman versus Citadel. Now, if you've listened to the show or listened to me speak about college basketball in person, I'm a Furman believer. But giving up 15 points to Citadel, who puts up 85 points a game, with 82 points a game, no thanks. No thanks. I'll take the plus 15 with Citadel, and I do take the over because both these teams score over 80 points, and none of them really can play any defense. Furman is the better team. They win the game, but they don't cover. My next one is something I went the other day when I first came back, when I was in the kitchen getting my yeast ready for my bread that's right behind me. I had Boise, Wyoming over 148. Same exact number. We're going to get a different result. The zigzag theory that's been working when a team plays the same team back-to-backs. The other team covers. So in theory, Wyoming should cover this game, but I don't think they will. Just because Boise is a much better team. They're the best team that nobody watches. They're the best team that nobody watches. But also, if the under hits, the over hits the next game going forward. The under should have hit. Wyoming made 2 shots in the first 12 minutes of the second half. The other night, I don't see that happening again. They're a good shooting team. I'm taking the over for that. And probably the best game that we'll be watching tomorrow, if you will be watching college basketball, will be Texas Tech versus Texas. Nice little in-state rivalry. Texas is 5-point favorites I lean the under, but if this game stays close, it would go to fouling, and as is Texas is one of the worst teams when it comes to committing fouls. They're ranked 313th, so they'll put Texas Tech to the line where they've been decent, top 75, shooting 74%, but I think this game's gonna be close. I'm taking Texas Tech +5. Um, if Texas Tech can make sure to keep the Longhorns off the offensive glass, this game is all theirs and they can win outright. My last game, the wrong team is favored in this one. LSU versus Arkansas. Arkansas is 2.5 point underdogs. I'll probably want to take the money line tomorrow. But right now I have it on my card as +2.5. It's as simple as LSU stinks. Arkansas is better than them in every single category, and they've played better competition. And that'll do it for me. It's simple. It's gonna be a smaller card tomorrow. I had to get my juju back. You know, my premium subscription card that I sent to Morgan today went 9-3-1 with one cancellation. But of course, I was afraid to go on another cold streak, so I didn't put all those bets on Twitter. Deservedly so. You know, I don't want to be handing out losers. I don't. I want to be making other people money.
What the really was is that the guy who runs the Betting the Diagonal page for us just rips Billy to shreds. And he didn't want to see that anymore. He's tired of being just harassed and bullied by our social media team. And he just couldn't take it anymore. There's too much heat in the kitchen. That bread cooking behind him, he's going to burn up because
they're done.
Not doing well.
They're not in the oven anymore.
He didn't want to feel it. You know, he didn't want to feel the burn. He didn't want to see someone come after him. He didn't want the eggs coming after him or anything. So, yeah,
let's break that down. So, before anybody else gets into the picks, if you're going to troll us on Twitter and you don't have an avatar, you're going to get a Humpty Dumpty reference followed by a Dr. Evil reference because you're a clown. Because, like, you can't be talking shit if, A, you don't have any followers. Like, I don't care if you have followers, you don't have followers. But if you never tweeted anything onto your page in your life, don't come in here talking shit to us. That's how I make my money. I talk shit. If you watch me on FFD, I'm sure if you're watching this on YouTube, you've watched me on FFD, and I talk more shit than anybody else. Morgan, he enjoys talking this shit, but he feels bad sometimes. Like he talked about, he didn't want to hurt Greg's feelings by posting the pics. No.
Here we go again.
I would have shredded Greg.
Just the ricochet shots going left and right today.
By the end of the year, Greg is going to be the biggest troll we've ever met on Twitter. Because Greg is a troll. He's a big old snake. That's what you're dealing with, and you're going to try to slide into our DMs talking shit. When you guarantee you didn't even bet the game. That was the best part. There's no shot that guy bet the game. Mr. Egghead.
If you have 14 followers and you haven't tweeted since 2018, don't come at me. I'll just destroy you. I was being nice. I'm going to sit back and enjoy the Humpty Dumpty reference and everything. But if I see you come for us, any of the boys here, you're done. I will unpack you and just destroy you. Hit the curb.
Yeah,
it's over. You will not beat me.
We would do it in such a way that we're laughing about it, and the people who see that are also laughing about it. We're not just like, oh, you're an asshole. We're going to make you feel like an asshole, but be like, wow, they just roasted me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're here to have fun. Hey, if you're going to come at us, we're going to teach you what fun is.
Come to the playground.
Yeah. If you feel froggy, leave.
I have no problem just destroying anybody with anything I have in my arsenal.
Come in the sandbox, see what happens. That's all I'm saying. Meet me on the swing set, 3:00. Boys, I'll start with Greg. Let's get into some NBA talk because I don't want to talk about NBA. It's the dumbest game there is. Teams give up in the third. They live to see another day because they make that paycheck. It's like, all right, that's it. You know, we'll play again tomorrow. It's okay. But proceed, boys and girls, with your NBA plays. Hopefully, Greg can right this ship with being 3 and 14?
5 and 14.
It's 5 and 14.
Oh, it's 5 and 14. Yes, I'm sorry.
Put some respect on our man's name.
I'm sorry.
Seriously,
I'm
bro,
sorry.
you,
Real quick, I know you
I've
have
always known Billy is the most disrespectful person I know.
See?
But
don't slide in my DMs like that. Did Steph Curry bet it?
You to death.
It hadn't yet. I don't think it will.
So then call it 5.
Greggy. Greggy.
Yeah, we'll call it 5 and 15.
I just want to get
it. Does the math is much easier for me that way. You're at 25% then.
Exactly. And I'll own up to that shit. You know, I have been cold. It's a bad way to enter, but it's all right because I'm going to right the ship as well. So for NBA action tomorrow, I am starting off with Mavs -4 over the Hornets. Mavs have been playing pretty good ball. You know, they've been without Kristaps Porzingis basically the entire season so far. He will be back in the lineup most likely tomorrow. And with that said, I think that's a key piece down low and on the perimeter that they could use to beat up on this Hornets team that's very young outside of Gordon Hayward and Rozier. I just think Porzingis is a big piece that they haven't had. And I think Luke is definitely going to utilize him. In the same game, I'm going to take under 220. Hornets home unders have hit every game this season. They're 5-0, I guess I would say. So I'm going to ride that trend and say that this is, Mavs probably win by like 15, I'd say, and the under hits comfortably. Next, I have Bucks -10.5 over the Pistons. This is basically a rerun of last week's game. I think all of us were on that. I know you were, Morgan. That's when you called Pistons the worst defense of the century. And
absolutely worst defense ever.
I don't disagree. But yeah, I am on the Bucks -10.5 for reasons I don't think I need to explain.
Yep, I am as well.
Next, I have Nets -5.5 against the Knicks, unless KD sits on the back-to-back. If KD sits, I'm going to take the Knicks money line.
Interesting.
Noting
can we just talk about how LeVert is a baller?
He is a baller.
Oh, God.
I
think that alone, I still wouldn't take the money line.
I mean, honestly, how would you guys feel like if he was, the guy on a team? That guy would give Harden a run for a scoring championship.
That's
a scoring title.
I think Levert's like ceiling of what he can be as a guy on his team is Zach LaVine. Well, we kind of see Zach
who
LaVine
could win a scoring title too
right now. I think a guy like LaVine, and I'll be the first to admit I haven't seen enough of LeVert to make any kind of calls. I do like LeVert's game a lot, but I know I've seen LaVine play him for a while. He doesn't have that consistent enough 3 shot. Like I said, I don't know what LeVert has. I don't watch him near enough. But I mean, if you become Zach LaVine, that's a hell of a player. That's an all-star guy. I think LeVert's at his best, I think, is like the second option on a good team. Put him with a dominant big man. Put him on like Denver instead of Jamal Murray. Flip Jamal Murray and Karis LeVert with Jokic. That Denver team just adds about 4 wins to their record right there.
I would absolutely love to see Karis LeVert get traded to the Bucks and play the 2.
Yeah, I mean he'd be a good. The problem with that means you have obviously Middleton and Holiday and all, but him and Antetokounmpo, that would be a great 1-2 punch between the two. Because I think, like I said, I don't think LeVert's a number 1 option unless she's on maybe like say the Kings, like a Buddy Hield kind of is. Mm-hmm. But as a number 2 on a playoff team, I think you could do much worse than Karis LeVert as your number 2. It's a disservice in reality in the Nets right now because I told you guys in the beginning of the year, I said for Boston, Jaylen Brown is better than Kyrie. I look pretty good on that pick right now. I mean, Let's be real. And even when Kyrie decides he wants to come back from Never Ever Land, where the fuck he happens to be right now,
He was on
I
a
still
Zoom
think
call
Levert's
today.
the better guard. Yeah, like I think Levert's the better guard, to be honest, just from what I'm seeing right now. You know, this guy's improved every year. He's come back from the injury that he sustained at Michigan. You know, he's a hell of a player. You know, I'll be one of the first to say I did not put enough respect on his name, and I'd love to see him if he gets traded for Harden, say he gets sent to Washington for Beal. You know, he is a great centerpiece to build a big trade around.
I like it.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. The majority of people didn't put the respect on his name. One more pick for tomorrow's NBA. I'm gonna go Hawks plus 6.5 against. I didn't write down who they're playing.
It's the Suns.
The Suns.
Phoenix.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. That. For me, the Suns had a huge letdown game against the Pistons last time out.
You're
They lost by.
telling me.
Yeah. Telling a lot of people. You know, Pistons beat them down. That had to be a bit demoralizing for them. I would think, you know, they're talking in the locker room, hey, let's come back with a vengeance. But I just think, you know, 6.5 points, even at home against the Hawks team, you know, Trae Young shoots the lights out of the gym. I think it's just a bit too many. And the Hawks are 4-1 against the spread on the road. So it's a trend that I'll follow against a team that had a huge letdown last time out.
Yeah. I currently have that line at 5. I was just throwing that. Yeah, I have it plus 5. I would take it there.
But...
Okay, I was looking on ESPN.
Oh, this is an anti-ESPN place.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's no worries.
Oh, it says 5 now. I don't know where I got 6.5.
Greg was busy staring at his trophy. That's what he was doing.
He's just searching high and low to find some winners.
Listen, bro, you, like we said, like if you want to buy the points, go ahead and be a little girl about it, but it won't help.
Nah.
No, I don't hate it. I think the Hawks could win that game outright. Because, like I said before, if the Hawks get up to an early lead, it would be demoralizing for the Suns, who had a lot of hope, and they're a young team. Besides Chris Paul, who try to get the kids back together, but you know he's not an Allstate commercial. He's not going to be able to get his child back in the car, and we don't. He's gonna realize this game isn't as important as it's not that important of a game at the end of the day. So they'll wrap it up, send it home, and I think the Hawks would actually win outright. But I'm not betting on it. I'm only betting on the Bucks game -10 because the Pistons stink. Morgan?
Yeah, I actually don't like my card as much as I do because Greg is on some of the picks that I'm on.
Oh, no.
That just I hate that very much. So so if you're here watching right now and you're here for the NBA picks, you're here for me. Let's call a spade a spade. You're here for me. I'm 48-31 in the NBA. I'm shooting at 61% from the field right now. I'm like fucking Embiid in the paint. You can't stop me. I started 0-9, and since that point, I'm 48-22. I said it from the beginning. This is what I do. I know the NBA. I understand the NBA. This is where I play, where I make my money. So going into tomorrow's slate, and again, some of these might be subject to change just based off a nameless person on this host panel here who has some of the same plays as me.
Same on you. Same on you.
We're going to go Mavs -4 against the Hornets. Mavericks are obviously the significantly better team. I do like the over in this game, though. The Hornets know how to score. Both Rozier and Gordon Hayward are putting up over 20 points a game. Obviously, Luka is just Luka's Luka. Sidebar with the Mavericks, Porzingis is getting closer to being back, which is going to be huge for them as a team, as a whole. They need that second guy with Doncic. I'm actually also very curious to see when Greg posts the over Tim Hardaway 3. It's threes made in the game. That's a bet that Greg loves to play. And I don't think he's hit it once yet. But I think it's been played it's been played maybe 3 times.
Yep. Every time I don't play it, he hits. He hit 8 the other day. He hit 8. And I didn't play it.
It's fucking hilarious.
It's out of control.
Greg's player props are just hysterical because on paper they make sense. Like I can't argue with some of the logic. Like tonight's plays, the Jamal Murray play. Theoretically, yeah, Jamal Murray's a good shooter that should hit. Now, granted, Jamal Murray isn't shooting the ball for some reason this year. I don't know why. Maybe he's afraid there's going to be another adult video that comes out with him and his girlfriend, and if he starts shooting his shots everywhere else, more girls will start showing up. I don't know. Gobert, that was a wild play. Gobert stinks. Have you seen Shaq just roasting him for the past week?
4 points.
That was.
I don't know how you could possibly bet on the man that ruined America.
That was
all I wanted was 13 points.
Very fair.
Bro.
You're lucky that man
saw
still
that
the
pick
job.
and instantly was like, "Whoa, all right, that's wild." But you got to go big to get out of the hole. I respect it. Next pick, I'm going to have another one. I have a Nets -5. I also am very similar in the thinking here, where if Durant does not play, I might flip that, which makes me very upset with myself that Greg is thinking along the same lines as me. So we'll see what happens with that. I might just go, even if Durant sits out, I might just go Nets money line outright. I just think the Nets are a better team. So next one I have 2 plays with this game, the Blazers-Kings game. Going to have the Blazers -4.5. I'm also going to take the under 235.5. The Blazers can score, absolutely. They arguably have the best backcourt in the NBA between McCollum and Lillard. Lillard is my favorite player in the NBA that is not a Sixer. I absolutely love him. He's the best leader in the NBA. He might be one of the best leaders in sports as a whole. The dude can shoot from anywhere. He gets buckets from anywhere. McCollum is a great number 2 option as a shooter. It's a shame that they don't have – Nurkic is good, but it's a shame that they don't have even a second-tier level big to go with them. Christian Wood in this offseason would have been a great get for them. That would have been their third option. That would have put them up there with Denver and those teams. And that's second tier in the West. Like the Lakers are obviously on their own tier. I also like the under, though, because the Kings, there's so much dysfunction in that Kings organization constantly. Bagley's only putting up 12 points a game, and they're starting to give him more minutes coming off of injury, and he's being inefficient with those minutes. Rashawn Holmes has been getting a lot of run at center because of Bagley. He's shooting threes now. Rashawn Holmes has played for the Sixers. I love Rashawn Holmes. He's not a three-point shooter. He can't shoot. He couldn't shoot the 3 when he was at Bowling Green. He can't shoot the 3 when he was with the Sixers. He can't shoot the 3 when he was with the Suns, and he can't shoot the 3 when he's with the Kings. So I think that's under is a really good play. And I think that line is actually going to trickle down. So if you can get it early, definitely go for it. Next game I got to have will be the Pelicans versus the Clippers. Going to go a little bit more on a ledge on this one. I'm going to go Pelicans +6.5 for this game. This game has all the makings of a Paul George Kawhi Leonard sitting out. 100%. Kawhi has not been near aggressive. And if you've watched Kawhi in the past few years, Kawhi does not go to the net nearly as much as he used to. He sits on the perimeter and settles for mid-range jumpers or for threes. The Pelicans are one of the most athletic young teams in the league. They have the length to stifle that. Put Brandon Ingram on him. Yes, Brandon Ingram is a slim reaper, but he has the length. He's got over a 7'1" wingspan. That's great to go up against fucking Kawhi. And my last one, which I just added to the card because I don't really know how I forgot about this one. Bucks Pistons over 227. Like I said, Pistons, the worst defensive team I've ever seen. All they fucking have is bigs. They invested in 13 different centers this offseason. There's no one who can guard in the perimeter. Middleton would be somebody that I would look for with maybe a props for the 3. Greg, I know that's your kind of angle. Go with those prop bets.
I have a prop I want to ask
3.
about week done.
Okay. But yes, that's where my NBA card for tomorrow is going to be, if not more, because I'm great at the NBA. It's what I did. This is going to have at least 5 winners out of this card tomorrow.
It should have all winners. We're looking for all winners.
You even just said it yourself. I mean, look at the NBA. These runs they kill us. We were talking last night. Today I got boned on a claim that should have been a very easy under for the Sixers Heat game. They go to overtime and they put up 250 points. I mean, Embiid, though, I also said a couple episodes ago, Embiid MVP. Embiid is dominant, the most dominant he's been in his career by far. He looks like the MVP right now.
Tonight he took the game into his own hands. I had a question about over-unders for the NBA. Maybe you could shed some light onto this.
Sure.
Because I know this works for college basketball a lot. When there's one very good team and one team that's very bad. So, like, let's take. You said you're going to be on the over for the Bucks Pistons game. Usually in college basketball, that's an underplay.
Yes, I'm the opposite. I lean towards the over because with the NBA, so take the Bucks Pistons here. NBA team, even the worst NBA teams are usually going to put up at least 80 to 90 points per night. And these high-powered offenses are going to put up at least 130, 120 points. So a number like that, 227, you're basically telling me I need a 120 to 100 point game. Bucks are going to put up at least 130. Absolutely. And once those games happen like that, once you get up big like that, those big league teams, they pull their guys and they put the deep bench in there. But the teams like the Pistons, who aren't going anywhere, they're going to leave their bigger guys in. They're going to leave their starters in there. Jeremy Grant, he's been putting up over 25 a night for the past 9 games. He was my favorite process Sixer. Those teams, they leave those guys in there and let them keep playing because they're trying to develop. It's all about development. Killian Hayes, he'll probably play a lot of minutes. Hasn't done much so far, but he'll get a lot of run. I can't even say his name. I'm going to butcher this. Sekou Doumbouya, the French guy.
Doumbouya.
Sekou. All right, Sekou. Sekou is going to go score. That's why I look in those games. So when I see ones like this, it also, a thing that I look a lot into is the free throw shooting. How do they shoot free throws? It's the same with college. How are their free throws? Both of these teams shoot decent free throws. You take out Antetokounmpo, who can't shoot a free throw to save his life. The Bucks have guys all around the court who can shoot, and they've done a great job of surrounding him with shooters. So I like those type of games like that. I love to hammer the over.
Beautiful. I like that. That makes more sense. My one prop I wanted to ask you, because I was just looking through some props real quick while you guys were going on your NBA spiel. Because if anything, like I do enjoy betting props because, I like to root for players because I used to watch them in college. It's more of my thing. So, LeVert over 20 points. Yes or no?
Absolutely.
Lock it in, 100%. Right? That's what I thought. I'm adding that to my
only
card.
way I do not put that in just yet. See what happens. Who plays? However, even if Durant plays, I'd have no problem putting that play in. Yeah. Absolutely not, because Durant's going to be still on a minutes restriction. He might still, play 30 minutes, put up 38 points, but he's going to be on a minutes restriction. They're going to ease him in all the way up until playoff time. LeVert's going to be asked to carry it. Like I said, my guy Dinwiddie out. Obviously Kyrie is, on fucking Mars right now. Who knows where he is? They have a lot of another one I would look for actually in that Nets game is Joe Harris over whatever his number happens to be. When we were doing our fantasy, the mock drafts and everything, Joe Harris was one of the guys I loved. I was targeting him. He's probably going to be sitting there around 11.5, 12.5, I would guess. I'd love that number as the over because he's probably going to be the third option behind
14.
14. Even that, I'd probably get right around that number, the over. He's probably good for at least 16, I would say. Yep. You look at who they're playing tomorrow, the Knicks. Who the Knicks have who's going to cover those guys? Who's going to cover Durant? LeVert.
Nobody.
Knicks have that guy in the backcourt who can cover him. Joe Harris, since he's come off the bench, has been deadly. He put up just under 30 against the Sixers the other night. Granted, that was a shitty game by the Sixers, but he put up almost 30 all right off the pine. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, and LeVert put up 20 tonight, so it makes sense. And the tough part about that tomorrow is, if the moment they say Durant's not going to play, that over/under is going to be 25.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking about taking it tonight and cashing in tomorrow. Not even worrying about it.
I would hammer it right now.
See, you just told me to wait. You're all over the place.
Greg talked me into this one right here now. Again, I'm terrified about that. I got goosebumps thinking about it because it's going to ruin my record.
I will say, when you tell Morgan to bet that, just throw it in. It'll work. He bets it right away. No second guessing. No nothing. Just trust his friends.
You tell me something you like, I'll bet it. I will bet literally every single game if I have my withers about me.
That's it, because at the end of the day,
it's just money.
It's just money, boys.
That's money. Speaking
of money, let's get into our cards before we close this game out. Before we close this episode out, I'll start off because while you guys were talking NBA, I was adding plays to my card and doing all this insane nonsense. So I want to do it before there's more plays being added. We'll start with the NHL. I'm going to do a 3-game parlay. It will be Lightning -1.5, the Philly Pittsburgh under 6, and the Caps money line -134 for its +325, I believe it is. I want to double check. I placed it and walked away. But then I'll be also doing another one. It'll be a 2-gamer, the Lightning -1.5 and the Caps money line. To add that one in, a little double day. You know, if I want to cash out, if it's looking good, if I'm a little nervous about the Caps game, but I won't be because the Caps going to blow them out. College basketball, I added like 3 plays since we've been gone. Georgetown money line because DePaul stinks, and I told you, Morgan, that DePaul stinks. You didn't want to listen to me. They don't know how to close out a game, and Georgetown stinks too, but not as bad as DePaul. Boise, Wyoming over.
Not to cut you off though, but it's just crazy. Think about like 5, 6, 7 years ago. I was thinking about this the other night. How Georgetown was a top 10 team every single year, and how far they have just fallen off the cliff. It's a shame. Like they were a good program. They put out great NBA players, and now nothing. They're not getting recruits any longer. It's just they're done, which is again surprising because they have Patrick Ewing as a coach. You know, it's pretty surprising. But anyway, continue.
Yeah, no, I think you're 100% right. Like there had to have been something wrong with that program to have Matt McClung transfer out and go to Texas Tech. Yeah, Texas Tech is a better program, but he had it made over at Georgetown. He was the man. And Texas Tech, he does his job over there. He's been balling out. It's one of my plays. We'll run right into that one. Texas Tech +5 because Matt McClung is going to knock in 10 free throws to win the game for him. I love that game. NC State +4.5 is one I added. FSU, who they're playing, has been on and off the COVID list. Has no chemistry. Trying to figure it out. NC State averages the 4th most steals per game, and for a team that doesn't have a lot of chemistry, I'm going to lean to the team that has the better defense and force turnovers. Therefore, I'm going NC State +4.5. Like I said, Citadel +15, doing things I don't do, betting against Furman. I'll probably be bit in the ass on that. Arkansas +2.5. Add the money line in. The last college basketball play, 4 now. You'll see in the morning when I place 3 more. Will be Virginia under 124.5. It's going to hit again and again and again and again and again because Virginia loves they have to be gambling on the under, the whole team, because it's their goal to hit the under every time. NBA, Bucks -10 for the full game, Bucks -6 for the first half, and lock me in for the Caris LeVert over 20 points. And that'll be my cards.
All right.
Greggy, hit us.
Yeah, I'll hit it real quick. NBA, I have Mavs -4 and under 220 in the same game. I have Bucks -10.5, Nets -5.5, unless KD sits. Then we'll go Knicks money line. I have Hawks +6.5. NHL, Lightning -1.5 against Chicago, and Blues Avalanche over 5.5. And as I'm sure everybody on this page knows, you will see some player props coming out tomorrow.
Are we gonna see an actual spread tomorrow, or just player props tomorrow?
What do you mean?
I mean, you give us like one or two spreads, but like 5 player props. I don't care. I just want to know.
What, like -110?
No, I mean like betting on an actual game and not just players.
Oh, yeah. I just announced my card. What do you mean?
Yeah, but I'm talking about on Twitter when the picks count.
Yeah, I just announced my card that's going to be on Twitter tomorrow.
Okay. I'm just asking. I'm just asking a question. You were going to ask me.
Get off my ass, bro.
Billy's going to text me about 2:00. Greg hasn't posted his card yet.
Yeah, I know. He always does.
I'm just trying to help you out. I want you to be able to own the trophy, to have the ability to own the trophy.
The baseball trophy.
Yeah, is that the janitor for basketball that you guys have? The janitor floor?
Yep.
Cleaning up all the
Don't worry,
boards. That's
Greg.
what he's doing.
I'm the
Well,
best loser so far.
When the season ends, I will make you a very nice participation trophy.
Oh, thank you.
Go ahead, Morgan. Tell us your 25.
All right. So, so NBA, we're going to have 9 plays as of this moment for tomorrow. I'm going to do the Mavs -4, and I'm going to be on the opposite side. I'm going to fade Greg. I'm going to take the over 220. I mean, that's in my opinion, that's a very easy over. But I mean, we'll see what happens. Nets -5. I will ride the Nets -5 regardless if Durant plays or not. I still like what the Nets do. Their second tier, third tier players are still better than the Knicks' top tier players. So I will still roll with that -5 there. And I'm actually surprised. Steve Nash, for whatever he's doing, it seems like a pretty solid coach. Granted, how much coaching is he doing? I don't know, but he doesn't look too bad. Blazers -4.5 against the Kings. We're also going to take the under in that game, 235.5. Pelicans +6.5. Get me feeling just right tomorrow. I might sprinkle the Pelicans money line in there potentially. And then Bucks Pistons over 227. So that'll be the NBA card as of now. That will probably expand more. NBA Wednesdays always call for a big card from me. College basketball. I didn't talk too much about it. I mean, we all know that aside from the fact that my record is the best on the show in college basketball.
For about another 3 days.
It's okay. I'm still at the top of the totem pole. You know, I'm actually looking at the records right now, and we have Billy hitting it about almost exactly 50% on 52%. Greg is 0 for 1 in his college basketball plays.
As Greg
my
would.
guy's killing it. He's killing it.
Like in Kansas.
I have Wofford -5 tomorrow against VMI. I'm going to have Rhode Island at -1.5 versus UMass.
That's a weird
Wyoming
game.
+9.5. It is a very weird game.
That line doesn't make sense. I'm staying away.
It doesn't, but I've been on Rhode Island a few times. I can't help myself. I just have to do it. Wyoming +9.5, and I do like the over 148.5 with Boise State. You and I know we talked about that the other day. That was the one we were going back and forth with picks. That was your lock pick. It just missed, which really stuck.
It died, and it should have hit by 30 points.
Yeah, it was wild. I am going to be on the opposite side of you on the Texas Tech game. I'm taking Texas -3. So I'm going to fade #fade Billy for all of you who see his terrible picks. I have it -3.
Yeah, I don't hate that. It would be a 3 to 5 point game.
Yeah. And then my last one for college basketball as of right now, again, I'm sure there will be more come tomorrow. Fordham +11 versus St. Bonaventure. I very much am on that one right there. I love that pick.
I like the under.
And then we'll go to the NHL. I'm leaning under as well. I'm not ready to commit to it just yet, though. I have commitment issues. I've had that my entire life, so I can't quite commit just yet. NHL Flyers Penguins under 6 goals. I will probably sprinkle Flyers money line as well, just because I think the Flyers are the better team. It comes down to goaltending. A lot of times in the NHL, Carter Hart is a top 7 goalie in my opinion in the NHL. He's better than Tristan Jarry in the pipes. Leafs -1.5 against the Canadiens. We kind of talked earlier. The Leafs, for as dysfunctional as that organization is, they have superior talent to what the Canadiens has. Austin Matthews would be one of my Hart Trophy contenders to watch this year. I think I saw him at +1100 to go. Going into the season. That's not bad odds for him.
You know what happens when Morgan hiccups? He's lying. Because
actually, the
Leafs are a trash organization.
It's a tick. It's a tick.
Yeah. Actually, it's the hair playing with. That's the tick right there. But we talked about this already. The big lock tomorrow for NHL is going to be Lightning -1.5. That's a wild number right there. The Lightning are so much better than pretty much every team in the league, and the Blackhawks have no shot. If the Blackhawks somehow cover or win, I will eat crow on Thursday's episode. I'll figure out something to just punish myself for with that pick. And then the Blues +1.5 with the over 6 in that Avalanche game as well. So I like both of those. And that's the card for as of this moment. Beautiful. As of 1:17 a.m. on January 13th. That's the card. We are at a solid 19 plays as of right now for tomorrow.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I know Morgan doesn't Morgan posts more picks than anybody. In the beginning, it was me. I was throwing picks at everybody. I was playing 12 games a day, and I know for myself, my volume around now for college basketball starts to lower because I'm betting on other things. I'm betting bigger on the NFL. I'm also betting on the NHL. I'm betting on the NBA. So, like, next few weeks, my volume for college basketball will be lower, but my win percentage will be higher. I can promise you that.
We'll see. Right now the win percentage is in my favor. 61% in the NBA, 52% college basketball. I'm in the lead in both of these categories. It's this guy.
Get out of here with
is. I mean, we do have the trends though. I'm in first and everything. Billy, you are in second and everything. Greg, you're in the competition. You're in the race.
If we talk units, I'm definitely in the lead.
Probably.
Because of my soccer bet. Because of my soccer bet.
I mean, I feel like maybe I'll have to start listing the soccer plays and everything and seeing how they go, and we'll track them a little bit.
I had 2 soccer plays today.
Yeah. Did
I hit either of them
1600?
win?
I was 1-1.
In perfect fashion. Sorry, Greg. I had to do two.
Kind of with how Greg is right now. We're very much in Operation Fade Greg mode. I will say, because we did kind of hit on a time, but we're going to do a big NFL show more on Thursday. But my NFL picks are ice cold right now. So when I do put out picks later, your best bet, honestly, is to fade them. I am cold as can be in the NFL. But I did want to briefly touch on, not a game, how about that Nickelodeon broadcast?
Ooh, I was going to save that for like 15-minute introduction on Thursday.
We're going to tease it a little bit. How about that slime end zone?
That was fun.
Did you watch? I watched the whole game. Like that was
my favorite game I've ever seen.
That was one of the worst football games I've watched, but one of the best times I've ever had watching football.
Yep. They managed to turn the fucking Chicago Bears game into an interesting game. Way to go.
Yeah.
Bravo.
I mean, I've never had people talk to me as if I was, 7 years old and, be able to accept it. I appreciate it.
Yeah. You can sit there and tell me how many downs you get. I'm fine with that. I didn't know you get 4 downs. Who knew?
You know who doesn't know?
That pop up on screen and tell me some rules. I love it.
Tom Brady could have used that a few weeks back.
You're not wrong. That's a good point. Maybe they should put those games. I want to see the Super Bowl on Nickelodeon. That'll be great.
I believe I texted you, Morgan, the other day when we were watching that because I told you put this shit on. And I was like, they're getting ahead of the curve with like what we're doing and what other people are doing because we have something special coming out probably next couple of weeks. I don't want to tease what that is yet, Morgan, but they're building Degenerates at the ages of 5 to 10.
It's a beautiful thing. God bless this country. I love it.
They saw all these states legalizing it, and they saw the potential of $1 billion business, and they went ahead and like, hey, let's try this out, and they absolutely killed it. Absolutely killed it.
It was the only other game that compares in my entire life in the NFL is when the Eagles won the Super Bowl. This was This was 1B to that game. It meant that much to me.
Oh, wow, that's a wild comparison, my friend.
I mean, I sat there, I saw the slime cannons in the end zone, and I thought I was tripping on acid. Like I was just loving my life right there.
Yep.
I was like, whoa, what is happening right now? Look at this slime first down marker. Come on, this is freaking awesome.
All right, close it out. Follow all of us individually because I want Greg to get some followers.
Yes.
Follow Greg at Gersh Greg.
Greg.
Yeah. Greg.
Yes, take a look. Everybody take a look. We'll be posting, obviously, when we post our picks, we tag ourselves in them, so you can follow our personal pages where a lot of us like to make our little remarks and everything. You'll see us going back and forth where I just harass the fuck out of Philly. Greg's going to get the same treatment really fast if he doesn't get this NBA record up, especially now that he's bringing a trophy into the mix. As soon as you flash a little fake gold in my eyes, I have to win it. So, like Billy and Greg are saying, follow us on Twitter. You'll find all of our pages. We got at BillyFFD, at Greg Gersh, at MoWatch26. This guy here, I can't. And then obviously the main page at Betting Diagonal. We're going to keep bringing the picks. Greg is getting better at Twitter. If you've been noticing, he's starting to pick it up. He's starting to tweet much more. We're still working on getting the full card out there instead of just the player prop bets. It's a work in progress, baby steps. We want him to improve it. We're going to make sure that we get the records up there each week for you guys as well. As you saw, I believe we posted the NBA records. So the college basketball records will get up there. NBA records were just posted. We're going to have more interactive polls as well, where thank you to all you who voted on me as the king of college basketball gambling. Yours truly did win that poll. I took the majority of the votes from Billy. He's extremely upset about that, but the real ones know. You ride with me. But like I said, check us all out on Instagram. Check us out on Spotify. The 2 episodes a week are coming out there. Put them on. Share them to all your friends, family, loved ones. We'd love to have everybody getting in there, get more people gambling with us. And take a look at us on Spotify. Take a look at this handsome motherfucker behind me. Oh, I'm sorry, not on Spotify, on YouTube. Take a look at this guy right here. He's adorable with those eyes. You want to see him right there with me behind him. It's a great look. You can take a look at the bread man back here. Greg doesn't really have that, but you can take a look at Greg kissing his trophy that he's only going to have for about 2 more days. But thank you all for watching us. We appreciate it. And Gilly, you know what to do.
Yes, sir. Before I officially close out the show, I want to say one thing. Let's go Islanders. Oh, I got it back on the screen. Let's go Islanders. Let's bake this bread. I'll give it to Morgan. Let's go Flyers. I'm not a Flyers fan, but you got to represent the team around here. We're team players around here. Good luck.
Unless we play each other.
Then follow, subscribe.
Respect each other any other time.
Yeah, then it's hostile. It's hostile. Mm-hmm. Best of luck. Follow, subscribe. We'll see you next week. Best of luck, you degenerates.